Oh no. Oh, that doesn't belong there at all. Go back to your home. Hi everybody, welcome to the Caffeinated Classroom. My name is Marie, and today I am going to fix the book club that I started. So many of you saw this video and I appreciate your interest. You probably weren't able to make a video because we only got one, and it's my girl from Teacher Inspiration Station. Hi Melissa. Thank you for participating. She and I are the only ones who made videos, and I think it's because I made it too complicated. Here's my thought. I'm going to link right here, up above, the original video that I made explaining the whole idea behind this book club, where it's not a book club where we all read the same book, but it's more of like a book report where we are like sharing with each other different texts that we might use to teach a certain theme. My original idea, as you'll see in this video, or as you saw in the original video, was to teach a different theme each month of the summer, pick a different theme, and then pick texts that go along with that theme. Okay, I'm over that. I think now let's just go with one theme for the whole entire season, because empathy is the theme that I chose for June, and empathy, I think, is one of the most important things that we can teach ourselves, that we can teach students, that we can just kind of teach our communities. So my first pick was this amazing book called El Defo by C.C. Bell. And if you have not seen my video that I did on this one, take a look at it. I don't know which side it's gonna be on. Anyways, it's up there, and I'll also link it down below. Take a look because it's awesome. My second pick, which I never made the video for because I have two small children, and these things just don't happen that easily around here. Even though it is summer and my husband and I are both on summer break, that means our entire little family of four is home together all the time. So all the things you think you're gonna get done, you don't necessarily get done. I am going to do a bonus book, which I'll show to you at the very end. And then I'll actually do my book report on that on Instagram TV, because I don't want this to be too long. So if you wanna see that one, head over there. Again, the whole idea behind this is to share with colleagues just some different texts so we can kind of get some cool ideas and spice up a little bit our classroom libraries and the different texts that we use with kids. Now, I'm going to do, at some point this summer, I'll do another video on different types of texts that I think can teach empathy to students, and I'll do something that's a range of grades, because if you take a look also at another video I made on how do you define a classroom text, a book is not the only kind of text. Songs are text, and it doesn't have to be just the lyrics. It can be the actual auditory recording of a song is a text that you can use to teach in class. And I love that about just life. It's just cool. Movies, YouTube videos are text, performance is text. There are all these different things that you can use to just basically, the whole goal here is that we're connecting with students, right? That we are having them make some sort of a connection with these things. So why not tap into all of the resources that we have? Oh my gosh, this is just distracting. How do you guys even take me seriously when things like this are happening? This is what happens when you have a 2-year-old girl who's like, Mama, hair. Oh, I love you too. Hi. Okay, Mommy's gonna keep recording. Go finish your lunch. I love you. That kid. So what I'm asking you to do in this book club is to do 4 things. Introduce the book, give us a little synopsis of it, tell us what grades or age you think it's appropriate for, how you think it teaches the chosen theme. So this time it's going to be empathy. And then in the fall, maybe we'll choose a new theme, and I'll just kind of do it seasonally. And last but not least, an idea of an activity you might use, or how you might use this or teach this text, whatever it is, to teach the theme. So the book that I'm going to be looking at today is Be Kind by Pat Zietlow Miller, and she is a great children's author. And the illustrations are by Jen Hill, and she just has some very sweet, easy to connect to, beautiful images that are watercolored in the background, and it's very aesthetically pleasing. This book is, and then it's also just a very sweet story. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. And if you want to see my other pick for empathy, I will link my video to The Wicked Witch of the West, Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. It's a big one. It's very, very different from the other two books that I have already talked about, but I will link this one below. Be kind. I think my favorite part of this actually is the back, where it just says how 2 simple words can change the world. The first time I really read this through, I read it actually with my son, who you just saw pop in, because whenever he hears me recording, he wants to pop in. I was able to just stop a lot along the way and ask him questions. It's about these 2 little girls, right, that you see on the cover here, and they are friends, but you can tell the very first thing that happens is this little girl, Tanisha, she's just having a bad day. She like spills grape juice all over her dress, and this little friend tries to help her. Our main character kind of just goes through all these different scenarios of different ways to be kind and different ideas behind being kind. The grade or the age that I think this is appropriate for is probably like young elementary, so like pre-K, kindergarten first, maybe second, like in the primary. And then honestly, I would bring this into a high school classroom, because I think that the simplicity of just kindness gets muddied up in hormones with teenagers. Those of you who teach middle and high school, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or those of you with teenagers at home, they're the coolest people in the entire world, and they're also like some of the meanest. That is why so much of our pop culture aims to please and to market towards teenagers. Teenagers are a big driving force in our society and in our pop culture, and I think that teaching them how to be kind and be patient and just slow down and be nice to other humans is pretty stinking important. So I actually am going to be bringing this, I might buy another copy just for my classroom, we'll see, because I think it is going to be something very important when I start my semester. Oh, I love, okay, because it talks about like how kindness is contagious basically, and how it like spreads throughout, and an act of kindness then breeds more and more acts of kindness. And so it talks about it like spilling out and going basically like across a community, across a country, and then across the world. And so it's got all of these cool images of like just examples of kindness of people from different world cultures. And so I was able, when I read this with my son, to stop and say, now, what do you think's happening here? I wouldn't say like, what do you think is kind in this picture, but just straight up like, what's going on in this picture? And he would say, oh, that girl's helping that boy, or whatever it is. And it just sparked conversation in a very nice way. When I'm using this with high schoolers, I think it's going to be more of like, okay, you've seen these examples of kindness. Now, thinking on a small scale, just simple kind acts. What have you done today that was kind? Okay, what can you do for the rest of today, or for the rest of this hour, to be kind to others? And I know it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a round table discussion, but just to get them thinking and maybe do a little quick write or something like that. That's how I think I will use this in my high school classroom. Okay, so I told you to stay tuned, because I have a bonus that is not one of the 3 books that I've already talked about, that I'm actually going to be doing on my Instagram TV. If you watched the HBO show Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, you have already heard of this book. All of the proceeds went to a really great cause when I bought this book on Amazon. It is A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo. If you want a little bit more information on this, take a look at the social media behind Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, because it's a little bit more politicized, I think, than we like to get in the classroom, and like that we like to get talking about education and talking about students. But quite frankly, our job is political. We are government employees. We live and breathe and teach by government policy. So yeah, we're going to be part of the political sphere, and part of my own personal politics is that love is love and friendship is friendship, and that people, I think my goal as an educator is to help my students understand that they are going to be different from other people, and give them the tools within the safety net of school, and with me and other educators who care around, to help them learn how to navigate the waters of disagreement, or just believing something different from the people around them, and being able to do so peacefully and productively. So if you want to hear more about this wonderful little book, tune into my Instagram TV. I'm going to be putting up that video pretty soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your comments that you've been leaving. I appreciate your subscriptions. And please, 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 if you make a video about a text or texts or what have you that you love to use in your classroom or that you think you could use in your classroom to teach the theme of empathy, please let me know. Link it down below. I will be sure to add it to my playlist of texts on empathy so that we can all start to diversify our classroom libraries. If you've not already subscribed, please do so. Go ahead and like this video if you like it so that you see more like it. Oh my gosh, I'm so weird. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Okay.